So I see a thumb in the air there from Johnny Goddard, good and early. We're going to go this time into the boot section. Oh, it feels a little bit nervous here. There's a big crowd, I can tell you, here up on the balcony. Well, it's Tim, really, but I'm sure there's plenty of people watching at home. So, running in now, looking for the red flag, the green flag. Who'll get that hole shot? James Taylor is looking at the feet of Jack Bolton. I wonder if Jack Bolton has somehow swapped sides to decide which side the grid's going to be. But it's Bolton leading. Will they all make it through? It's a good start from Jack Bolton. Look at the gap. It's half a dozen kart lengths. Taylor's busy trying to hold off Justin Buck, and round the outside, Chris Murray, Stuart Goff. I don't think James Taylor's picked a rocket ship this time. So Buck is clear in second place, and Taylor's now relegated to third, holding off Chris Murray. Harry Neal has pushed through Stuart Goff. Peter Harris is there in the red. Harris trying to go round the outside of Stuart Goff. That's never going to work. Chris Dixon pushes him through into the corner to get past Peter Harris. Rob Moore's gone round Peter Harris. Darrell Lowe's gone round the other side. Miles Sharman is joining this group, and we've got a big long line of karts here. It begins behind James Taylor. And it looks as though right now it's going to be Jack Bolton and Justin Buck sorting out the top step of the podium between them, because Taylor's holding up Chris Murray. I see a penalty board out for kart 26. That's Stuart Goff. Not sure what that's for, but he's certainly picked one up. And there is Stuart running in fourth place. A few kart lengths down now on James Taylor. I think Harry Neal has got past Chris Murray, who's holding off Chris Dixon, and Rob Moore has gone straight down the inside, the pair of them down into Chapman. Almost like he had another gear. Actually, it's Chris Dixon behind him. Then it's Murray, Lowe, Harris, Martin Theodoro in the blue, Miles Sharman in the red and green. Looks like 22 is Tom Clyde, Simon Lloyd, Jamie Pender. So up to Christmas corner, it's Bolton, and Bolton is coming under pressure here from Justin Buck. Justin Buck going for his first win. Stuart Goff in third, but carrying a penalty now ahead of James Taylor. Presumably that will push him at least behind James, possibly behind Harry Neal. And they've got to look out because Rob Moore, the Tiger, Rob Moore is coming to run him down. I don't know why I'm calling him Tiger. So Bolton holding off Justin Buck, and we'll have to keep half an eye on the battle for third place, which is warming up nicely. I think we're likely to see a move for the lead before we see a move for third place. Buck in the slipstream of Jack Bolton. Now he could take his time because they've got a big gap to Stuart Goff. It's 2 seconds. And it looks as though Goff is now released. Remember, he's carrying a penalty, which you can argue about afterwards. But I suspect we don't call him willy-nilly, so I suspect he is carrying a penalty that we will see in the results. Moore crossed up going into Parker. It's a sloppy piece of driving that's let Chris Moore back through. So where's the battle for the lead? There it is. Jack Bolton holding off Justin Buck. And Justin doesn't appear to be in a massive rush to get by. To the battle for the front, and Bolton is now on the defensive going into Winkerman's. Bolton slowing down to the extent that Justin Buck takes a look over his shoulder just to make sure he's still got that distance over Stuart Goff. And Goff is holding off Harry Neal at a kart length. And Buck's got an overlap, can't get it done. There's another penalty. This time that looks like kart number 18, which would be Simon Lloyd. How long is Justin Buck prepared to wait? Is Jack Bolton sandbagging now that he's got him on his bumper? Only to suddenly speed up towards the end, or is he trying to back him up into Stuart Goff? Down the inside, Buck all crossed up, he tries. Pod to pod, they've both made it through. Bolton takes to the grass to keep the position, round the outside maybe for Justin. Can he get it done? It's brave. He tips in over the top into Chapman to lead, but he's a bit scruffy, but he's through. And look how quickly Stuart Goff has closed in as Buck and Bolton went side by side through 2 or 3 corners. Now it has to be said, there's a big asterisk next to Stuart Goff on the live timing, metaphorically at least. He is carrying a penalty. But we now have a 3-way battle for the lead. Justin Buck, can he break Jack Bolton? Hard to tell right now. I think Bolton's just as quick, and he can now enjoy the slipstream. Harry Neal, could he get across to make it a 4-way fight? He's towing James Taylor back into the fray. Down in 5th from 2nd on the grid. Haven't seen much of Sean Hollingsworth. I don't think he'll be leading the championship tonight. Harry Neal shaping up to put a pass in maybe. So your top 5, Justin Buck, Jack Bolton, Stuart Goff, Harry Neal, James Taylor. Chris Dixon is 6th. Christopher Murray 7th. Tom Glyde, Darrell Lowe, Rob Moore now in 10th, ahead of Martin Theodorou. Well, it's sort of like the calm before the storm. We're 3 minutes from the finish. And it looks as though Justin Buck is heading for what I think might be his first win in the Clubman class. Raced in the elite class last season, dropped down. Well, I think he was racing on a regular basis in elite. Fancied this level this year by the good graces of John Vigo. He was allowed to drop down. Similarly, the same sort of thing with Harry Neal as well, who was sort of struggling with the elite class. I'm sure he'll be back next year. There's a penalty for kart number 8, which is Christopher Murray. So the results, as ever, will be provisional at the end of this one. Under 2 minutes from the finish, probably 2 laps now for Justin Buck. And he's pulling clear. It was 0.9 of a second on the last lap. It's still 0.9 of a second. Jack Bolton, I think, is going to hang on to 2nd place no matter what. Stuart Goff has got a penalty and is running in 3rd place, holding off Harry Neal and James Taylor. That looks like the main point of action. Chris Dixon having a good run in 6th. Harry Neal, is he close enough to strike at Chapman? Taylor closes in as well. Will it be the final lap board this time? Neal takes a look over his shoulder at Taylor. Goes down the inside. Lovely move between the apexes into the toe of the boot, but it might be Taylor coming out ahead. 3 wide in the last corner. I remember racing when you'd never try that. The final lap board is out. And maybe it's a chance for Dixon to pick up the pieces and pick up places. It's going to be Justin Buck's win here. 3/4 of a lap to go. The battle is over third place as Goff covers up through the kink and down at Ashby, all crossed up. Harry Neal trying not to take out Stuart Goff is given James Taylor what might be third place with a penalty for Stuart Goff ahead. Out of Chapman for the last time. Justin Buck is heading for the win here at Wilton Mill. He hasn't done it from the front row. It's been a good run through the field. He struck early and then overtook Jack Bolton. He wins. Stuart Goff is going to finish third on the road, but he's not going to be third in the final result, I don't think. James Taylor finishes fourth. Harry Neal, Chris Dixon, Thomas Glyde, Christopher Murray also running with a penalty. Mike Townley, Rob Moore rounds out the top 10, but these results are very provisional. There's a few penalties in the field.